Welcome back, shop rats. Today here in the shop, we're going to show you how to fix a rust hole in a fender the cheapest and easiest way I've ever seen. Now, there's a lot of things that we do here that apply to a lot more than the cars we work on. This happens to be the fender off of my 74 Swinger. But you can apply what we do to anything that you're working on. So let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is my car shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
You've seen the amount of work we do here on things like the 70 Challenger and the Forsyth Duster, the 26 Oakland, the 47 Ford, the 73 Swinger, and of course over in the garage over there we have the 68 Dark Pro Street GTS and the 69 Charger. The back room here we have the 74 Swinger, and out back we have a couple more pickups and other things. So we've got a lot of vehicles we're working on here. So many projects, so much fabrication. I'm tired, and I'm just looking for the simplest, easiest, cheapest way to fix a rust hole like this and just get it done. So today, I'm going to demonstrate a technique that I know many of you have seen and just show you how quickly and easily you can fix something like this over a period of just a couple days. So let's stop talking about it. Let's get into it. I need cheap and easy now. I'm tired, boss.
I'm just tired, real tired, boss.
I'm gonna lay this out for you as easily and simply as I can, and you can actually take this video and take it out into your shop and follow along. You need three simple things to make this repair. You need some duct tape. You need an old kitchen knife. You can sneak that out of your house when your wife or mother is not looking. And a can of spray foam. The key to doing a quality repair is to take your time and be patient. If you get in a rush, you're going to ruin it, and then you're going to have to do it over again, and nobody wants to have to do that. So I can't emphasize that enough. Now, there's a bunch of surface rust on here, and the bolting flange where it bolts onto the car is missing, but we don't care about that because we're going to use, when we go to put it back on the car, we're going to use a couple of big long drywall screws with some big fender washer type things. So that's all we're going to take, and we can just screw that right into the car. That'll work fine. So the first step here is to forget about all that rust. That doesn't matter. And just take some duct tape and go along the back side here and just kind of fill it all in. And I prefer to just wrap the whole thing with this duct tape. Some of you know this by another name. It's called the Handyman's Secret Weapon. And I'm just going to go all along here, and what we're trying to do is just create a pocket. So we're going to wrap it, and wrap it, and wrap it, and wrap it, and wrap it. And then we're going to flip this over and make sure that everything on the back side is nice and sealed tight. So I'm going to keep my fender bolt over here out of the way because we don't want to lose that. It's important. You don't have to keep those. You don't, but it helps. Okay, so you can see now that we created, for the most part, a nice area here that's kind of sealed up. So we got a little more down here to do, so we're going to go ahead and just put a little more duct tape down here. I can't emphasize this. Don't spare any expense. Buy the good stuff. If you go through 6 or 8 rolls doing this project, that doesn't matter, you know, in the end of the day, it's cheaper than buying a new fender. Okay, there we go. We're just trying to get everything nice and sealed up there. The materials are expensive, and we don't want to use more than we have to, obviously, so that's the rationale behind this, is get this sealed up as good as you can. Now, I know that we've got things like our fender brace is a little bit loose there and so forth, but that'll all get taken care of here as we go ahead and do this build. So we'll flip this back over again. And now here comes another key element, is we need to figure out exactly where that hole was here. Okay? Okay, the hole is right here. So we're gonna go ahead and take our knife and just shoot a little hole in there like that, okay? This is important. You paying attention? So now we got a little hole right here that's gonna work good for us. So the next step now is make sure that your spray foam can is good and up to temperature and well shook. Well shaken, not stirred, I don't know. So after you've shaken this for 18.6 minutes minimum, or 2 days, you go ahead and open your can of spray foam. And I went to the wall place and I bought this GE large gaps foam because we have a rather large gap here in our fender. So it's important to make sure that you get the right product for the right application here. So the next step is go ahead and open up your can, and remember that there's 25% more in this can, and so you can fill 25% more of the rust holes in your car with this product. So now that we have it filled up and we have our little application hole, we're going to go ahead and just insert. Oh, we can't. Oh, didn't make the hole big enough. This is important. You got to get it right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just insert this in there. And then remember, we've created this wonderful little pocket. And so we're going to go ahead and fill this up. Hopefully we got it all. I don't know. Let's go ahead and put a little more in there. Oh yeah, there we go, eh? Let's go ahead and put a little more in there. You just keep shooting it in there until the can's empty or it's running out the back. And then what I do is I just kind of go on the back side and just kind of push it and squish it. Now remember, this is going to expand a lot, so that'll be good. So that's as far as we can go on this today. Now we need to let this dry for 24 hours. And so when we come back tomorrow, we'll go ahead and open this all up and see what we have for a nice patch, and we'll get this finished up. And we'll blend it all in, and you won't even hardly be able to tell that we have done a quick rust repair. Just to know that our product is doing what it should, because it's kind of gushing out and splashing down on the floor, and it's oozing out everywhere on the backside. That's just perfect, because it's just filling in all those spots where that moisture can get in there and ruin this fender in the future. And we don't want all of our hard work to have gone to waste and be in vain. So that's very good. You know you've done enough when it just keeps oozing out and splashing down on the floor like this, and look at it coming out everywhere back there. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. What an amazing repair this is going to be. I really think that I'm going to go this way in the future, and I'm just done. I could have made frame rails for the Challenger out of this. I don't know why I didn't. This would have been so much easier. Just fill all those frame rails in with this foam, and it would have been just great. Perfect. Welcome back to day 2 on our easy peasy cheesy squeezy quick fast repair on this 1974 Dodge Dart fender. So everything is dry, and you can see we had some excess material that that's fine, kind of went down on the floor. So we're going to go ahead and kind of unpackage this and see how it turned out. always important to use the right tool for the job. And if you don't happen to have an old kitchen knife, or you can't sneak out of the house with one, I would suggest going to a thrift store and getting one. You got to do something. You could go to the Wally World and buy one, but I don't know. Just don't compromise on this. It's important that you have the right tool. We're not taking it off the backside yet because we want to be careful back there. Oh, we have a big gap. Oh no. What are we going to do? Well, I got some ideas on that, but let's turn this over. Well, that's just sad. Well, the material didn't really fully dry. Oh no, oh no. Well, that's just a major disappointment. But we'll have a workaround. It's not a problem. This is just kind of the nature of the stuff that we do. You always got to have a plan B. What I would suggest is just taking some pieces of the foam that are left laying around and just kind of shove them down in that hole and just kind of fill things in a little bit. Make sure you get it fit in there nice and tight. It's important. Get some extra material back here we can take off. But I think that's pretty good, like that. Much better, much better. Okay, let's go to the next steps. So if we didn't have such a major flaw in this, we could have probably just sanded that off a little bit and went ahead and sprayed that with our finished material. But because we did, we're going to have to go ahead and put a little tiger hair over that. You could also use any number of other products that might work. You could use some drywall compound maybe, as long as you coated that with something that was waterproof later. Some floor material, maybe some roofing tar. And there's a number of things you could use, but I'm going to go ahead and use the products that I have here in the shop. So we're going to go ahead and mix up a little of this tiger hair. And make sure you put 4 times the recommended amount of hardener in it so that it dries really fast. Because you don't want to spend a lot of time at this. You want to get it done quickly. We'll go ahead and mix that up. And make sure that you put as much air into the tiger hair as possible, because that way you use less of the product. The more air bubbles you get in your fiberglass, the better off you're going to be. So rather than doing the recommended technique of working it and kneading it out with a spreader, I'm just going to use a stick and try to get those air bubbles in there as much as I can. Like I said, the products are expensive, and if you have big air pockets in there, it's much better. Just uses less material and saves a lot of money. Also, make sure that you're always mixing your fiberglass on cardboard so that it can absorb a lot of the thinner materials in the hardeners, soak that into the cardboard rather than leaving it in the tiger hair where it's supposed to be. Okay, let's spread this on there now. Now, normally you could use a Bondo spreader, but I think we'll just go ahead and use a paint stick. Oh yeah, there we go. This is going to work great. The foam is sticking up a little bit, just shove it down in there. Don't worry about the rust, it's fine. The tiger hair will glue right down to that rust and seal it so it won't rust anymore, so that's fine. Just gonna work it around in there like that. This is really good body work. I'm glad that I get to teach you guys how to do this, because, you know, think of all the time we could be saving on some of these projects. They should have just done things the right way and done it this way in the first place. There's a gob there that's being a pain, so I'm going to pull that one out of there and then go ahead and fill that in. Again, we got lots of nice air pockets down in there, so that's good. Oh, that's better. And try to get it smooth so that you don't have to sand it. That saves time. Time is everything. There we go. Oh, that looks good. That looks great. Okay, we'll go ahead and let that dry. That won't take very long. And in the meantime, I'm going to go dig in my paint cabinet and find the paint that'll match this. As you're going through this process, you're going to want to check this a lot. It's really important that you keep sticking your fingers in it and making a mess because that helps it dry faster. So that will make you feel like you're really accomplishing something because the oils from your fingers will get on there, and somehow that helps leach those solvents out of the material and helps it to dry faster. So be sure you stick your fingers in it a lot. That's important. Another note that I want to mention here is I've seen guys do similar work where they will use a window screen, and I really don't recommend that because window screen is made of metal and metal rusts. And if you use foam, it doesn't rust. So think about that. Now, a lot of guys might like to take this and let it dry completely and go ahead and sand it down. But I think that it's important that we allow all of the chemicals to just kind of mix together. So before this is 100% dry, we can go ahead and hit it with some primer. And that will help the primer to just like mix in with that fiberglass. And of course we cover up that rust now too, so that's all gone. And now that that's in there, that really helps just kind of keep everything real happy and it sticks real nice. So we'll do that. And we'll let that dry for a minute, but before that dries too much, then we'll go ahead and put our rocker panel guard on there. So we'll let that dry. Okay, that's enough. So let's, I don't even know if this works anymore. Let's find out. It's old. I think it would if I had a nozzle. We had to get a different spray thing. And so same principle here. Well, this is still not 100% dry. We want to go ahead and shoot that with some rocker guard. That helps protect it and keeps it from stone chipping because we don't want all of our hard work to be for nothing here. There we go. Okay, that's good. All right, so we'll let that dry for just a little bit and then we'll take and put our color on it. So by experience, I have found that Duplicolor really does a good job of matching factory paint. So I'm going to go ahead and use this can of Rattle Duplicolor on this just to save time. So let's go ahead and shoot this with that, and then we'll see how our final product looks. Yeah, I think that looks good. And we got to blend it, you know, up in because we want the color to kind of blend together. So just feather that in like that. It's important so that you really get a good color blend. There we go. And then of course you want, you know, get nice and heavy down here. Okay, I think that's good enough. And it blended in nicely now, and I think that's amazing. I really think that's an amazing repair job. That it was so fast. If I would have done that with sheet metal, this would have taken, you know, a day or more. I can tell you with nearly 40 years of bodywork experience, it doesn't have to be hard. It's as hard as you want it to be. Remember that we're missing the mounting brackets down here, the mounting tabs, and we could take all the time to make those, or we can just do what I suggested earlier in the video. Just get a couple of long drywall screws with some flat washers, drill a couple holes, and screw that baby right into the bottom of the rocker panel or the bottom of the cowl. There's any number of ways that you could make this work. So think outside the box. And one more thing I want to say before we're done here: April Fools.